All right. Hello. Long time no see, right? Um, let me I knew that was gonna happen. I could sense it. I could sense it. This is it's gonna be kind of a casual video, of course, especially now that I forgot to turn the sound of Shark Puppet's voice off before I got a notification on my phone. Okay, so long time no see. Um, I've kind of just been um, working a lot for like the past while. Um, I had been working a lot and doing classes. I had to take a break from classes though for, like several reasons. I don't know if I'll get into those or not, but, you know, I posted earlier a photo of myself. I got dressed up tonight. Like, I got this thing that I bought on Amazon years ago, and just a simple black t-shirt and a choker that I made. This is like one of my most high quality chokers, probably like the second most high quality. The first most high quality one, I gifted it to my friend for her birthday back in September. Um, I just dressed up and I did my makeup, and I did my makeup the way I like it, which is something I hadn't done in kind of a really long time. And to be perfectly honest, I did just kind of stop, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I stopped because of the fact that, I just didn't feel very good about myself. I really didn't. Um, but, I got very much inspired lately, and I've been feeling better about myself for a while. Um, I really have been. I've been making some definite improvements, you know, um, and I'm sorry, I'm stammering a lot and my hand hurts, so I keep looking at my hand trying to determine why it's hurting so much because it's really hurting. Um, Probably arthritis. Hopefully not arthritis. But, um, I just started feeling better about myself lately. I had been going on a bit of a journey to, you know, be more at peace with myself. And it's been like I've just definitely been working on that a lot lately. And there was a video that this one girl had uploaded, and I won't say exactly what the video was about, but she was going through a bit of a journey um, where she had gone through some surgeries and things of that nature, and then she decided to be more at peace with herself as a person. And when I thought about that, I was like, seeing someone like this who deals with something similar to what I deal with, not the same, but similar, that helps me to be able to find peace within myself, right? And I told her as much. I was like, thank you for being you. You seeing someone like you be able to find more peace within themselves, even though our struggles are different, they're similar, but seeing you being able to come to peace with come become at peace within yourself, that helps me to be able to do the same, because it does. When you see someone who has struggled with, whatever, when you see someone who's been struggling with stuff like this for like years, and then they're just like, what? I am just going to accept this, and I'm going to embrace these things that I had been going to all these different lengths to change about myself. And seeing that, it really helped me out a lot. It really did. Because I deal with certain things that I've mostly kept private. I keep most things about myself private. I don't even really like when my birth name, I'll say, is shared on the internet. I really don't like it. Not for any particular reason. I'm just a very private person, and I don't like for too many people to have too many details about me. If I feel comfortable sharing details, then that's different. But, because of that, there had been so many things that I have struggled with. On top of, health issues. I've had health issues for a very long time. When I was a little kid, I was constantly getting sinus infections. Like, at least once per year, I'd get a really bad sinus infection. It would put me down. If I got a cold, my body couldn't handle it, and I'd get like extremely sick and have to be down for a few days. Things of that nature. I deal with chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm basically just like always physically fatigued. And when I'm not physically fatigued, I'm physically fatigued and tired. You know, with all of those things, stuff like that caused me to gain weight. And I mean like a good bit of weight, you know, like mm, maybe like 130, 40 pounds, something like that, from where I was when all of this stuff really started up when I was in my late teens. You know, all of that kind of stuff. That and some other personal things. I like my earliest memory of that was when I was a little kid. You know, I don't think I'm going to talk about it right now, but with all of that being said, it started to like really get to me, right? Like, I just live by myself. I'm not married, not out of a lack of desire to be married, but I don't have roommates because I don't really want to live with people I don't know that well. Um, it's just me in my little apartment, and um, I have to travel a decent amount of distance, whatever I'm trying to say. I have to travel a good bit for work, and I work a lot. I really work a lot. Um, so, like, with that being said, all of that coupled with all of the stuff that I've been being healed of really took a toll on me. And I just started slowing down a lot with certain things. I'm the kind of person that I would rather make a loaf of bread, even though my bread making skills aren't as good as I wish they were. I like making a loaf of bread more than I like going to the store to buy bread, things like that. And I wasn't even really able to do that. But I slowed down a lot. And so, even though I was wanting to get into doing a lot of the things that I've always dreamed of doing, and now I have the space and stuff to be able to do them, I just didn't really have the energy, especially mentally. I did not have the mental energy to deal with these things. And most of it was because of, how do I put it? Um, I kind of felt like I lost so much time. I really did. I felt like I lost a lot of time because, I'm in my early 30s. It's like one minute you're 16 years old and you're really starting to discover what you would like to do with your life. And then all of a sudden, you're almost 32 years old and you're just like, what happened? What happened? you know. Um, so because of that, I just slowed down for a while and I realized that, the slowing down wasn't quite what I wanted. Because I'll be honest, I'm a pretty intense person. Whenever something needs to be done, it needs to be done 3 days ago. I kid you not, that's the way I am. That's just the way I am in general. I'm a workaholic. You know, I'm not necessarily a slave driver, no, because I've been in management before, and I didn't really overwork the people that I had to oversee, but I overworked myself. Like, that's how this week was going to be. And like I just started reflecting more on certain things. And I started realizing a lot of things about myself, and it just kind of opened the door towards me being able to heal, you know? And then when I started watching, like the girl I mentioned earlier, I started watching a few of her videos. There were a few other girls whose videos I watched, and they were, just talking and sharing their experiences and such. And I'm just like, these people, they don't struggle with the exact same thing that I struggle with. Like, it's actually kind of a rare, the thing that I struggle with, right? But these people all struggle with something very similar, like, very similar. But they were able to find peace within themselves. And even though, it took them a while to get to that point, I kind of realized it's kind of where I'm headed. I'm not going to get into a lot of details, at least not right now. I just don't feel like that's like right now. I don't feel like right now is the time for details, but I came the long way around with my non neurotypical self to kind of just say that, all of that led to some pretty drastic healing for me. And so I can sit here and become inspired by this really beautiful goth couple I was watching on YouTube earlier. I'm just like, oh my gosh, these guys are goals. Like, they're so beautiful. And I might be giving away too much, but instead of my mind usually doing a thing that's just like, oh, well, I can't be that beautiful, so whatever, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna wear leggings and a t-shirt and lounge around the house, since I did all my housework. Instead, my mind was just like, you know what? Let's do that. We can do that too. And that's why I took the time to do my makeup, even though I can say I need to do some face care. I did my makeup. My hair is, work safe, so you can't really get around that too much. And I put on this choker and this necklace, and I dressed up. I dressed up. I was originally going to go out and get some groceries because I'm out of a few very essential things for people who eat primarily plants. um, I'm out of a few very essential things, and I was just going to go and pick those up at Target. But, I ended up not being able to go, not because of the weather or anything, because, the South basically got blasted with a chunk of Finland lately, so, you know, Uh, but I wasn't able to go because I had a little bit of an issue that I'm gonna have to probably get someone out here to repair. So I decided to stay at home. And I'm just like, you know what? I could just make a video of me staring at my reflection in the computer and rambling about stuff. Because, how do I put it? Like, even though things for me lately have been Not fun, I'll say. I'm not going to say they've been difficult, but I'm just going to say they've not really been fun lately. Like, there's been just this wonderful learning experience that kind of gives me some hope for the future because I didn't didn't really have a lot. I know that's bad to say, but I didn't really have a lot of hope for the future at first because I don't put my hope in the same things that a lot of people might, and that's whatever. But I have my hope in like different things, and I wasn't really seeing that so much, and so I'm just like, well, but you know, the healing that I've been experiencing lately, some people who know me, who know what I'm talking about, they understand and get it. They understand that this is a really kind of big, important thing for me. And there's literally only maybe like a literal handful of people who do know about this. There's not that many at all. The healing that I've been experiencing and just, good good spiritual changes. It hasn't been easy. No, it hasn't been easy. Being snowed in at work for a day and a half, it was not easy, but there was good that came of it. I didn't really mention that like, I didn't actually have to go into work, but I didn't know that I didn't have to go into work. You know, so I went into work. And like driving in icy conditions, I've done it twice before now in my life. And I'm a pretty cautious driver. Like if something happens, it was literally just a fluke, which is kind of something that's been happening to me lately, but we won't talk about that. It's not really that important to talk about. I'm a pretty cautious driver. If something happens, it either wasn't my fault or it was a literal fluke. So I try to be as careful as I possibly can. No one's perfect, but you can do your best. So I made it safely to work because I have some experience with driving in winter conditions. And then because the town where I live is like it's closer it's closer to the Gulf Coast, we'll say. Where I work is farther north by, some distance. I won't say how much distance, but it's farther north by some distance. And there's like almost this line where if you were above the line, you got blasted with Finland. If you were below the line, it was just kind of cold and you didn't get blasted by Finland. So, um, I got snowed in. And I was just like, okay, driving in the snow doesn't bother me too much. Driving in the rain bothers me. Driving on ice really bothers me. So I wasn't really concerned because from what I was observing, it was just primarily snow where I was. But I didn't know which places were completely iced over, and I didn't know how far it went because I had to get back towards the south to where I live. So I didn't know how bad it was. And I just kind of kept feeling in my spirit, don't leave yet, don't leave yet, don't leave yet. So I stayed at work. No one else was able to come in because, most people around here, they don't know how to drive in these sorts of conditions. And they were just like, mm-mm. Like, even my boss, she was going to come in and she ended up getting stuck. And I'm just like, oh, that's not good. That's definitely not good. But, she was able to do what she needed to do. Praise Jesus for that. But, I mean, I can drive in winter conditions. My mom can drive in winter conditions. Like, my mom actually lived out in the Midwest. And how can I put this? Because I have to keep these locations pretty much private where she lived. She lived in the Midwest for like, I think a year and a half, 2 years. And then for like a few months, it ended up being too harsh, with her health issues. 'Cause she has some of the same health issues that I inherited. With her health issues, she lived pretty far north, like basically almost Arctic Circle far north, but not in Finland. If she had lived in Finland, I would have gone to visit her. I'm just saying. But she basically lived almost at the flippin' Arctic Circle for like several months before it started, taking a toll on her health, and she had to come back home to the south. So she can drive in winter conditions. It's not a big deal for her. And it's not really much of a big deal for me because, I kind of have a little bit of experience and I kind of know how to handle the situation and I know how to be safe in these conditions. Um, but um, so I'm just like, it's probably not safe yet. And I stayed until this morning when um, when someone was finally able to come in because conditions had gotten a little bit better and it wasn't really snowing anymore or anything like that. So I went ahead and I left this morning. It took me an hour to scrape my car free of all of the snow that had accumulated on it. But even now, there's still a lot of snow on my car. There's still a lot of snow on my car. A lot. But, you know, um, basically speaking, you know, even though I was stuck at work, I mean, I was prepared. I keep preparedness items in my car. A lot of people just like, hey, you've got so much junk in your car. I'm like, that's not junk. That's stuff I'm gonna need if I'm in an emergency situation. And even this whole thing, this whole ordeal, basically illustrated to me that I need to add a few things. But it was still a valuable learning experience, even though it was kind of difficult at first because I was stuck at work and I'm a homebody and I like being at home. It has nothing to do with, we'll say it has nothing to do with the stuff that has been going on. We'll just say the stuff. I can't talk about it. It makes me angry for reasons that I have to explain. But it has nothing to do with that. Like, I like my apartment. I like being in the interior of my apartment. I love seeing the interior of my apartment. And I'm not particularly fond of going outside most days. That's just how it's been for like a long time. Like I'm a homebody. Every now and then I like to go out places, but it's very limited where I do like to go. So these difficult things I've been dealing with over the past while, I'll say, they've been valuable learning experiences for me, like for sure, 100%. I've learned a lot of things. I've definitely grown in a lot of ways that I wasn't expecting to be able to grow, you know. So, there's definitely a lot of blessings there. And even with dressing up tonight, even though I wasn't able to go get the groceries that I needed, and I'm just like, I want vegan mac and cheese so hardcore right now. I really want to make a nice hot bowl of vegan mac and cheese, but I don't have any nutritional yeast because I ate it all. I mean, it lasted me like 3 months, so whatever. I wanted to go get nutritional yeast. I wanted to go get some almond milk. I wanted to go get more lentils because I eat lentils like it's nobody's business. You know, I wanted to go get those things tonight so that way I don't have to go anywhere during the day and, deal with all the stuff that comes with, not being neurotypical and therefore not being proficient at communication. Um, but, I don't feel like I wasted any energy or whatever, you know, doing my makeup and putting on these kind of fancy clothes because like I was just sitting here and I'm just like looking at my skirt and my skirt is like this is a what exactly do they call the fabric? Like the fabric looks like suede, but they called it something different. It's not, it's more like a velour. If it had like all the texturization in it, it'd basically be crushed velvet. But that's what the skirt is made from. And I made this skirt like what 4 or 5 years ago, I think. I saw the fabric and it's just like, oh, it's perfect. I want to make a high waisted skirt with it. Like I immediately knew what I wanted to make. I bought like a what was it? I think I bought a full yard of the fabric. Yeah, I think I bought a full yard of the fabric and I took it home and I planned out the skirt and I made the skirt and it's a high waisted skirt and it's beautiful and it comes all the way down to the floor on my tall body, even when I have it at the high waisted point that I wanted it to be. It's literally perfect. It's literally perfect. I want to add some frills to the bottom hem though, just to help make it a little bit fancier. And I need to add pockets to this thing because a skirt or a dress without pockets is kind of an aberration, I'm just going to say. But, you know, just seeing this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to get some more fabric so I can make more clothes. Like, I want to make more clothes. I have a lot of clothes that I'm going to get rid of because I want to go partial minimalist, because I mean, I had already been kind of thinking about it, but since I moved into this apartment, it's a small one bedroom apartment. Like, there's the living room here. The kitchen's like literally like a few footsteps away, and it's a small kitchen. Um, and then like I can see my bathroom from right here, and then there's the bedroom. It's a small one bedroom apartment, right in my price range, so I don't have to live with strangers. Um, but I kind of decided I wanted to go partial minimalist with some things, not completely minimalist. That's kind of impossible for me to go completely minimalist, I think. Maybe not impossible, but it would be difficult because I like collecting books and I apparently like collecting instruments too. I still haven't bought a flute yet, but might have to wait. um, I might have to wait until the point where I buy my own house to buy a flute because the other instruments I can actually play them here, but I can't play a flute here. I can play my guitars here. I can play my piano here. I can play my violin here. Can't play a flute here. I got neighbors over here and neighbors over here. I don't want to disturb people with the sound of a flute. Anyways, I have been rambling for like 30 minutes. I guess this is just me being like, I don't know if this is me making like a full on comeback to attempting to do videos or coming back to Facebook. I kind of am not fond of Facebook for many, many, many reasons. I don't know if this is going to equate to me trying to come back to Instagram. Instagram is not a fun place. It can be a fun place because then I'm rambling again. I'm rambling again. But Instagram can be a fun place because then you may meet these really attractive Finnish guys and your heart leaps out of your chest because you are very attracted to Finnish guys and you want to live in Finland and you're even studying the Finnish language even though you're still poor at it. Instagram can be a fun place. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's not. At least for me, maybe I just need to learn more about it. I've met some really very sweet people on Instagram, but Instagram has the effect of making me feel old. It really does. You get all these little 23-year-olds modeling and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I was 23 like 1,000 years ago. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe I'll keep doing this if I can, just find one topic to ramble about. I'm pretty sure I could do that. I absorb knowledge and I absorb information like a sponge. And then like when you wring out a sponge, like all of it just comes out. That's kind of how I am. But I think we can go ahead and end this video here. Just a few little life updates, a lot of rambling, gray nails, stuff like that. Whatever. Who cares? It's whatever. But at any rate, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, night. It's night, it's like 9 p.m. here. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, whatever. Stay warm if you can, stay safe if you can. And you know what? Stay prayed up, especially that.